We're near the midpoint of the 2023 NFL season, and as always, there have been many pleasant surprises.
CJ Stroud is the best rookie quarterback.
He's only got one pick this year.
He's been awesome.
He's been terrific.
There's also been a handful of teams and players that have been colossal letdowns up to this point. Let's dive into the 5 biggest surprises of 2023 and the 5 biggest disappointments thus far. Surprise? Chiefs defense greater than the Chiefs offense. Did the Kansas City Chiefs defense play vital roles in the club's Super Bowl 54 and 57 championship winning seasons? Of course, but make no mistake, this team mostly won because of the Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce-led offensive wizardry. Even just last year, KC was a mere 16th in scoring defense. After losing Juan Thornhill, Frank Clark, and Carlos Dunlap in the offseason, it felt like Mahomes and the offense would have to do more heavy lifting here in 2023. But no, it's been the total opposite actually. While the Chiefs offense struggled with consistency over the first 6 weeks, the defense continued to save the day. Through their first 7 games, the Chiefs D allowed the 7th fewest yards and the 2nd fewest points per game. And they ranked 6th against the pass. How terrifying of a thought it must be for the entire NFL that the Chiefs' main strength is Steve Spagnuolo's group, and not the unit led by the best player in the world. Disappointment? Los Angeles Chargers. Yeah, it might be kind of weird putting the Bolts on here because of the whole Chargers gonna Charger thing, but, well, we didn't expect them to be this bad. I mean, usually, the Chargers wait until big games to choke. But they haven't even choked this year. They've just been straight up bad at football. Kellen Moore was supposed to help take Justin Herbert and this offense to another level. Yeah, that hasn't happened. Yes, Austin Eckler and Mike Williams missed time, but the Chargers used their first-round pick on TCU wideout Quentin Johnston. And Josh Kelly and Joshua Palmer could have picked up the slack amid the Chargers' string of injuries. Once again, the defense has been a total sieve, even with Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and Morgan Fox forming a fearsome pass-rushing trio. The finger can be pointed at head coach Brandon Staley, who continues to baffle literally everybody with his awful fourth-quarter game management. Seriously, at what point does GM Tom Telesco take the hint and switch coaches? The Chargers' ugly Week 7 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs dropped them to 2-4 on the year. And just look at how stacked the rest of the AFC is. There is absolutely no chance that the Bolts get on a hot second-half run and steal a wildcard spot from a team like Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, or the Jets. Surprise? Dolphins have an unstoppable ground game. Everyone knew how dangerous the Miami Dolphins aerial attack was a year ago with Tua Tagovailoa on the field. But who saw this offense reaching a new level because of a suddenly explosive rushing game? The oft-injured 31-year-old journeyman Raheem Mostert racked up 474 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns in Miami's first 7 games. Rookie Davon Achane had 460 rushing yards and 5 rushing TDs in his first 4 games before going on the IR with a knee injury. The 17-game schedule obviously helps matters, but Miami will seriously challenge the 2013 Denver Broncos record of points scored in a single season with 606. It is absolutely unbelievable for a team to have 2 potential 1,000-yard rushers in today's pass-happy NFL. Who especially thought Miami would have it with Mostert and a little-known rookie in Achane? Miami's passing game gets all the love, but this offense wouldn't be so historic without the Mostert-Achane duo. Disappointment? Las Vegas Raiders offense. We didn't expect the Raiders to be a Super Bowl contender, but we did expect this offense to be close to a top 10 unit. Or at least not a group near the very bottom of every meaningful category. Yes, Jimmy Garoppolo has missed time again with injuries, but Josh Jacobs, the league's reigning rushing champ, had just 347 yards over Vegas' first 7 games. Through Week 7, the Raiders were averaging a league-low 68.6 rushing yards per game. After a 172-yard outing against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 3, Davante Adams followed it up with 4 straight games of 75 or less receiving yards and 0 touchdowns. Michael Mayer was widely regarded as the best tight end of the 2023 draft class. He had 10 catches for 129 yards and 0 touchdowns in his first 7 games. Former Pro Bowler and 1,000-yard wideout Hunter Renfrow is on pace for the worst season of his career. Look, be it Jimmy G, Brian Hoyer, or Aiden O'Connell at QB, and the Raiders just aren't moving the ball despite a ridiculous set of playmaking weapons. Free agent pickup Jacoby Myers has been the lone bright spot, which is pretty good for his fantasy football owners, I guess. But he should be this team's 3rd or 4th best offensive piece, not their only consistent one. Hence why the Raiders look doomed for another losing and non-playoff season. Surprise? the Jets haven't sunk without Aaron Rodgers. The moment that the New York Jets completed a trade for Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers, Gangrene became a bona fide Super Bowl contender. The moment that Rodgers tore his Achilles heel minutes into his debut against the Buffalo Bills in Week 1, well, just like that, it seemed like the Jets' hope of ending a 13-year playoff drought had gone down the drain. Though New York managed to upset Buffalo in Week 1, they proceeded to lose 3 straight games due largely to Zach Wilson's atrocious play. After a Week 5 road win over the Denver Broncos, the Jets stunned the high-powered Philadelphia Eagles offense by a final score of 20-14. New York's D flexed its muscles by picking off Jalen Hurts 3 times. And with that, the Jets improved to 3-3. So, who's to say their season's over? Even with Wilson's limitations, Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson have been total beasts on offense. The Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams-led defense has given Mahomes, Hurts, and Josh Allen all sorts of headaches. And you know what they say, defense wins championships. Robert Saleh's group has truly embraced the underdog role without Rodgers. And in case you missed it, the 4-time league MVP is adamant that he'll beat his surgery recovery timeline and return this season. That remains to be seen. But the fact that these Jets have rallied together without the future Hall of Fame QB against a tough schedule, no less, is certainly surprising. Disappointment. New York Giants. A lot of people thought that the Brian Daboll-led Giants were big-time overachievers last year. Others were bullish on them, and for good reason. The team reached the divisional round a year ago and upgraded the weaponry around Daniel Jones by landing Pro Bowl tight end Darren Waller and speedy rookie wideout Jalen Hyatt. Throw in inevitable growth from youngsters in Jones, Andrew Thomas, Evan Neal, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, Xavier McKinney, and the Giants had the makings to be a playoff team again. And heck, potentially a Super Bowl dark horse with the reigning Coach of the Year leading the way. Or not. Yeah, Jones has regressed to his pre-2022 self. In other words, he's awful. Again. Barkley missed time with injury, and nobody on offense picked up the slack without him. The offensive line has been arguably football's worst, though of course Thomas's absence with a hamstring injury didn't help matters. Even with rookie corner Deontay Banks playing like a Pro Bowler, and even with Thibodeau enjoying a breakout year, the Giants' defense has just been an absolute mess. This team is near the very bottom in just about every meaningful offensive and defensive category, and the uninspiring play is sure to cost them a playoff spot. Surprise? CJ Stroud and DeMeco Ryans powering a Texans playoff push. The Texans' hiring of DeMeco Ryans as head coach received universal acclaim across the NFL world, and nobody was shocked nor disappointed when they selected Ohio State's CJ Stroud with the number 2 pick, right after the Carolina Panthers took Bryce Young first overall. But also, nobody really thought that the Texans would be a playoff contender leading up to the trade deadline, yet here they are. Before Houston's Week 7 bye, Stroud was off to a phenomenal start with 1,660 passing yards and 9 touchdowns against 1 interception. Nico Collins and rookie Tank Dell have formed one of football's most prolific pass-catching duos, with both on pace to go for over 1,000 yards receiving. And even without top cornerback Derek Stingley Jr., the Texans boasted a top 10 scoring defense coming out of their Week 7 bye. 5 wins would have been a success for this team in 2023, but a winning record isn't out of the question with one of football's easiest remaining schedules. Disappointment? Derek Carr. Carr was let go by the Las Vegas Raiders after 9 seasons with the Silver and Black. He then signed a 4-year deal with the New Orleans Saints worth $150 million. Carr and the Saints were the consensus pick to win the wide-open NFC South, as New Orleans supposedly had a weak schedule and the best QB in football's worst division. But even with strong performances by Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, and Chris Olave, and a borderline top 5 defense, Carr has played by far the worst football of his career up to this point. Carr has been caught freaking out at offensive coordinator Pete Carmichael and his receivers several times.
You know, I've been showing my emotion a little bit too much on my sleeve, you know, like I kind of got to chill out, you know, and that's me holding myself accountable because that's not going to help anything. And so just trying to be a calming influence in those moments, especially when it's been a couple of times it's happened. That heightened frustration, I could do a better job as a leader to calm everybody down.
At this rate, Carr might not even hit 4,000 passing yards or even 20 TD passes. And if he can't figure it out soon, the Saints should just give Jameis Winston a look. Even if he throws too many interceptions, at least Winston moves the ball and doesn't play the blame game with his teammates. It is becoming now or never with Carr. At the midway point of the season, no QB has been more frustrating and disappointing up to this point. Surprise? Stacked rookie WR class bolstered by day 2 and 3 picks. First-round picks and rookie wideouts Jordan Addison and Zay Flowers have come as advertised. But surprisingly, most of the prolific rookie pass catchers were day 2 or 3 picks. Puka Nacua, a 5th-round pick by the Los Angeles Rams at number 177 overall, is having an all-pro rookie season. The Indianapolis Colts got Josh Downs in the 3rd round at number 79 overall, and he is threatening for a 1,000-yard season alongside veteran Michael Pittman Jr. 3rd-rounders Michael Wilson of the Arizona Cardinals and Tank Dell of the Houston Texans are also threatening for 1K receiving. Chiefs 2nd-rounder Rashee Rice is coming into his own as the team's number 2 pass catcher behind Travis Kelce, too. Disappointment. Everything about the Patriots. The Patriots weren't exactly a trendy pick to be a playoff team in 2023, but nobody thought that they would look like one of the NFL's laughingstocks. In Week 4 against Dallas, the Pats lost 38-3, marking the worst loss of Belichick's head coaching career. A week later, they lost to Derek Carr's Saints 34-0 at home. The 2nd worst loss of Belichick's head coaching career.
Patriots get shut out at home, and they're 1-4 for the first time since the 2000 season.
The Patriot way may as well be renamed the Tom Brady way, because Belichick's Patriots went from mediocre in the early post-Brady years to awful and unwatchable. But what other surprises and disappointments should we have included on our list? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.